Well, Arsenal is playing Leicester City this weekend, and you all know what it has been like. The previous seasons, I think Leicester City was relegated, but the last time they played at the Emirates, I think it ended 4-2. You remember, I think it was one of the openers when Arsenal went ahead, obviously beat them by 4-2. In that game, Gabriel Jesus scored immediately his first goal for the club of Arsenal and then went ahead to score a second one. He scored the first two goals, and then Leicester City pulled one back. It was an unknown goal coming in from William Saliba, and then I think it was Grant Xhaka, and was it Martinelli went ahead, obviously scored the fourth one to make it 4-2, and Arsenal were 4-2 winners against Leicester City. But Leicester City is back. I think they're not as strong as they were, but never say never for a team that has a Jamie Vardy leading their line. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and you can as well go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts about this game before we obviously get deep into its digestion. And you can as well do the needful, go and subscribe, because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers on this channel. And when you look at Mono Gadgets, they are really have big sponsors, and we are still with them. And just go ahead and really support them. If at all you need a brand new phone or a brand new laptop, go ahead and obviously call them on +256 70 9988 665. You can even WhatsApp them on that number, and then you can as well come up with an idea of really getting what we call a used phone and a used laptop, you know, from Mono Gadgets. And those used phones and used laptops coming through from the United Kingdom. So call them on the same number or WhatsApp them, and you will thank me later. So if you want to follow them on TikTok to see their vast range of products, go on TikTok and obviously search for Mono Gadgets, and you really do the needful. Now, Arsenal comes into this game of football after doing a very good job, you know, over last weekend in the Premier League by beating by drawing with Man City, and you know how it really went ahead to happen. You understand? They drew with Man City 2-2, and Arsenal just missed out onto that game, onto that win by just, how can we even term it, by seconds, I think. You get? It was like seconds away from them collecting that win, and it never really went the way Arsenal wanted. But I think the good thing is that they are still having Arsenal is still having, I think Arsenal is 2 points behind the side of Man City. And in the first 5 games of the season, Arsenal have won 3 and drawn 2, meaning that they're having 11. Man City have won 4 and they've drawn 1. They're having 13, meaning that Man City has a chance to obviously extend itself, you know, to 3 points more than Arsenal if at all they beat the side of Newcastle. Man City is taking on Newcastle it's the early Kickstarter that is on Saturday. So Arsenal will go into the game of Leicester City some hours later, like 3 hours later, knowing the result that is coming in from the game of Man City. And I tell you, without Rodri, you cannot predict Man City, especially when they're playing a team like Newcastle that really has a very huge hunger, having gone ahead to lose to the side of lose to the side of Fulham last weekend, and they will be like, we are charged obviously come in here and really make some huge changes. Leicester City played in the midweek. They played on Tuesday and Arsenal played on Wednesday, and when they played in the midweek, they found themselves in a position of really knocking out Wolves, you know, by 3-0. Those were penalties. Full time it was 0-0, and Arsenal went ahead to beat Brighton by 5-1, and that's what Arsenal went ahead to do. Now, when we go to the injuries for Arsenal, we all know that David Raya is a doubt. Martin Odegaard is having an ankle injury. Mikel Merino is having a shoulder injury. Tomiyasu is nursing an injury. Kientien is nursing a hamstring. Zinchenko is nursing a calf injury. Those are the players of Arsenal that are really out. You get? But David Raya might surprise us and obviously come if at all he passes what we call a late fitness test. Then, for the side of Leicester City, they are not having Patson Daka, Yannick Vestergaard, and Jakub Storezak. You get? All those players are really out, but that shows you that they still have their quality side that can come in through and do the job and really stop the side of Arsenal in doing what they're supposed to be doing into the mix. So that is Arsenal versus Leicester, and those are the injuries. Now, let's go into the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal and see how these players might really line up into this big encounter as Arsenal takes them on the system they're going to be playing. It's known, it's a 4-3-3 for the club of Arsenal. They really change their system, and huge changes are really going to be made. And if you watch the game of Brighton, you know who was rested, and we're going to be really going in through. In goal, David Raya being doubtful, it's not going to be Potter this time around in between the stitches, because for Potter, he came in through as Neto was cup-tied. You know, when he was at, I think, Wolverhampton Wanderers, he found himself really being a goalkeeper into the Carabao Cup, and there is no way you can play in two tournaments. You understand? So, I think if Raya doesn't make it or doesn't pass the late fitness test, I think Neto is really going to be getting his debut for the club of Arsenal, and it will be something great for him because the guy is really having what you call a muscular injury. That is David Raya. You saw him limping off the pitch in the game of Manchester City. That is it, and that's how everything would have to happen into the mix, as David Raya is doubtful, and when he's doubtful, the second choice goalkeeper will obviously have to come in through and stand in for the side of Arsenal. Right back, he was rested in the game of Bolton. Even in the game of Man City, played off the bench. I think this is where Benjamin White comes in through to play as the right back for the club of Arsenal into the mix. And left back, Arteta has just confirmed to us that Julian Timber is okay, took part in today's training, and I know Carafiori has been starting the previous two games. And if I told you are the manager, Mikel Arteta, all we would have to do is give him a little bit of a rest and get in Julian Timber to play as a left back. If Julian Timber is not 100% fit, then obviously the manager will go in for Ricardo Carafiori as a left back. But my instincts are telling me it's going to be Julian Timber into the making to come in through and really play as a left back. Right-sided centre back, obviously these two are really rested against the side of Bolton, though Magalhaes came in later to obviously get in some minutes to really warm up his muscles. Obviously, you anticipate that William Saliba, who never played a minute, is going to be coming in to play as a right-sided centre back, and Gabriel Magalhaes will play as a left-sided centre back. So, I believe all those five players never started in the game of Bolton, and that will be a very huge freshening up of the squad of Arsenal as everything we went ahead to happen. Now, in the CDM against Bolton, it was none other than Thomas Partey, right? It was none other than Thomas Partey, right? Sorry, it was none other than Jorginho. And I think Thomas Partey is really going to be coming to play his role. And by the way, for Thomas Partey, I would like to recommend Thomas Partey and the physio team of Arsenal. Ever since he returned last season, Thomas Partey hasn't gone ahead to get injured. You know, he played all games in the preseason. Partey has played 6 games in the Premier League, averaging close to 80 minutes in every game. You know, 80, 90 minutes, but he's still fit. And that is really a very huge surprise. And I think the positives go to Thomas Partey and they go to the side of the physio side of Arsenal, because Partey has been an injury-prone player, and him playing these 5 games consecutively, or 6, is really a miracle. And let's wait and see how he ends up this game of Southampton. And after, we'll see the best of the best. So that is Thomas Partey for you, and it's really going down into the mix. So that is Partey, and it's really going to be going down well to the side of Thomas Partey. Now, alongside him, Declan Rice started in the midfield. You get alongside Jorginho and Was it Nwaneri? Yeah, but this time round, I believe that Declan Rice is really going to be coming in through to do the needful, to play in the midfield. And he really played very well and scored his first goal of the season. I think it can act as a spark to see to it that he scores more goals in that more advanced role of his as a player. Then, the man that was sent off in the weekend, that is Leandro Trossard, I think is really going to be coming in through to do the needful into this encounter. And it comes to my understanding that he's really going to be given a nod to start in the midfield, because he's that player that was going to head officially give Arsenal something next to that of Martin Odegaard. When Kai Havertz was played in that position, yet I really trusted him a lot, as that was the position he played previously at Bayern Leverkusen and was really thriving. And every team that bought him, and every team that was really looking to sign him was looking at him being a capable number 10. He hasn't gone ahead to look so in the game of Atlanta. You understand? And so I believe it's really going to be Leandro Trossard playing to that position of the attacking midfielder, or the number 10 role. Now, the right forward comes up to be Bukayo Saka, getting in minutes against Bolton, and he's that kind of guy who keeps you going and keeps you running. You get? So, he has, I think, 4 assists. Is it 4? I think he has 5 assists in the Premier League. And I think he was going to hit to score, is it 1 goal? Right? And I know he's really going to be that player to blossom tomorrow as Arsenal takes on Southampton. And I have nothing to really say about Saka. Saka is raising the bar. Even when Arsenal was scoring its leading goal against Man City, he's the man that orchestrated the set piece. That is Bukayo Saka for you. On the left, I think it's going to be Gabriel Martinelli to come and play off the left, because he was rested and later he came on. But I believe he needs to find himself onto the score sheet. That's when the pressure is really going to be taken off him. But the more he really keeps not scoring or putting in assists, then it won't really help him in building the boost that he really deserves in as a player. So this guy, Martinelli, faces huge competition from Trossard, Gabriel Jesus, and Sterling. And Sterling went ahead to score in the midweek. And if Sterling comes off the bench and scores a goal against Leicester City, I tell you, it will pile more pressure onto this player. I tell you, pressure will be huge onto Gabriel Martinelli if you really understand this game of football better. So Martinelli, I think, having gone ahead to register an assist against Man City, all he has to do was simple. Go ahead and do the needful. Put in an assist or get yourself a goal, and your GA in a game will be like 1 goal, 1 assist, meaning that he's averaging a goal or an assist in every game. I think that will be something better for Martin. Leading the line, I think it's going to be Kai Havertz. Jesus started and played very many minutes, but he never scored. But Kai Havertz came off the bench and really went ahead to score. Now, when you look at that starting 11, that is really probable, Arteta would have gone ahead to make the following changes. Neto for Porter. Ben White for, was it Nicholas? This guy, Timber for Lewis Kelly. Saliba for Jakub Kivio. And Gabriel Magalhaes. There was another guy that played in the central defense. I think he was young also. Then Partey for Jorginho. Trossard for Nwaneri. Martinelli for Sterling. And Kai Havertz for Gabriel Jesus. Those will be 9 changes. And I think that will be a very good rotation to obviously see these players really charge. Remember, after this game, they're going to be playing against a side known as PSG. So we wait and see how this side is really going to be stopping Jamie Vardy and the likes of, when you look at their lineup, they do have Ndidi, they're having Mavididi, they're having Harry Wicks, he was playing for Spurs, even Skip was playing for Spurs. So we wait and see how they're really going to come up and really cope up into this hard set fixture. Now, let's go to the head-to-head stats and see what Arsenal really has before I really tell you my prediction. Arsenal have won their last 5 Premier League games against Leicester City, their joint longest winning run against the Foxes in their league history. Also 5 between 1908 and 1914 and between 1930 and 1932, So, you know what Arsenal is going to hate to do. Second, Leicester City have just won one of their last 26 away league games against Arsenal. 4 draws, 21 losses, picking up a victory in October 2022. Thirdly, Arsenal have won 16 of their last 17 Premier League games against promoted sides, with the exception being 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest in May 2023 at home. The Gunners are unbeaten in 39 such games. They've won 34 and they've drawn 5 since a 1-0 loss to Newcastle in November 2010. Remember, Newcastle at a certain point were relegated, and they obviously came in through and put in the required shift all together. Then, lastly, Leicester remains winless in their first 5 Premier League games so far this season, drawing 3 and losing 2 only in their relegation campaign of 2022-2023 have they gone 6 without a win from the start of the campaign in the competition, meaning that they're really doing bad, and this is where Arsenal comes in through to show them that I'm imposing myself onto you. Lastly, Leicester have both scored and conceded in all 5 of their Premier League games so far this season. Only in their title-winning campaign of 2015-2016 have they had a longer such a run from the start of the campaign in the competition, and that is first 9. So that is what we are getting in through from the side of the head-to-head stats, and I give Arsenal a 4-0 win. 4-0 win against Leicester City. That's what I'm really giving Arsenal, because I know they can really do it. They have the quality to really annihilate the side of Leicester City, and the response to Man City should be, we really failed to win by a whisker, but this time round we've sent you a message that from beating Bolton 5, we have gone ahead, obviously put 4 past a side known as Leicester City, and all that's possible. And Leicester City and Southampton should be culprits. And if at all Arsenal wins its next 2 games, Arsenal is really gonna be Arsenal will be having 17 points in the possible 21. I think that won't be bad, and they need to obviously put in the shift to really win these beautiful games of football. So that's what I had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Continue to let me know what your thoughts are. Tell me, who do you take out and who do you keep in the team of Arsenal, if at all you know. So who do you keep or who do you start? I'm waiting for your reactions into the comment section below. Powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you feel like you want a brand new phone or a brand new laptop, and a used phone from the UK and a used laptop from the UK, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. Search them on TikTok and you'll see the vast range of products that they have. I'm out, my mates. Bye bye and good night to those going to bed. But we are still here and bringing you more and more and more information about your teams. Bye bye.